What are you up to, Cal? What do you want to talk about? You spot Cal heading towards the barns at the far end of the farms. Hey, Solana, he waves. Hey, what's up? Just heading over to the barn, Cal says. I finished before everyone else today, so I told everyone I'm going to clean it. No one wants to get roped into helping, so it'll just be me and Socks. You should come with. Cal whistles as you enter the barn, and the chest where Socks sleeps starts to rattle. He laughs and pops the lid, hefting Socks up to his arms. Hey, girl, he coos. Time to get some forbidden daytime zoomies out. You and Cal play for Socks for a little while, chasing her around the barn. She chitters and stomps her stubby little legs, clearly enjoying the attention. I have a little while before I have to get to work, Cal says. What should we do? Let's take a break. Cal sighs dreamily. You're right, he says. We've been working too hard. You, Cal, and Socks curl up together on a scratchy blanket that Cal produces from one of the storage bins. She fits nicely right between the two of you, pressing her little white feet against your tummy as she wriggles around to get comfortable. When everyone is settled, you close your eyes for a bit of much-needed rest. Aw, that's cute. I wonder if eventually Socks will get big enough that they can join our menagerie. Like, I wonder how many other critters we can get. That would be pretty amazing. All right. We have medium stress, but I think we've almost finished exploring the plains. So we're just going to finish that one out real quick. Oh, and it seems we have gone further into the video game world, back in time to one of those retro games. But yeah, the person who did the creature emotes is also Artsy Axolotl, who did some of my other emotes, like the Dreki Love and the Blep, and you know, some of the staples, some of the good classic ones. I think they did pretty good. It turned out pretty well. I like how the Sickos one, I honestly didn't know what I was going to call that until they finished. Because like the description I gave them is I wanted Owl to like be pressing their face against a window. And then when they gave me the finished one, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of the Sickos meme. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to call it Sickos. You say Axolotl? Yeah. The Artsy Axolotl is their handle. They have a bunch of little critters. They're little pals. Artsy is a wonderful, wonderful bean. Really nice person to honestly just have on your feed, because like every Monday they tend to do a motivational animal poster kind of thing that they draw, and it's just really nice to have a consistent source of positivity. You know what? I can They're on Twitch. They stream now and then. They stream very rarely, but it is an absolute delight to watch them work. And that's you can see their little icon is Steve, I'm so sad that I'm butchering. It's something pals. That's their little menagerie of critters. They recently debuted like a sort of like bios for all of them. They have Steve, which is the main one, the purple. There's also Pretzel, who is a bit of a tinkerer slash causes explosions. Pretzel is also an adorable axolotl. And then I know another mainstay is a snail, whose name escapes me. I usually like the axolotls because I'm biased. I'm biased towards the axolotls. Hey, Solana. Dice greets you cautiously as you pass on the narrow path. Hey, do you want me to show you something? Dice almost never makes overtures of friendship. Whatever it is, must be pretty cool. Yeah, you always find the coolest stuff. You follow him for nearly an hour. A couple times, he stops to listen for something, then continues onward, tromping through fields of broad-top mush trees and swaying antler ferns. After a while, you start to wonder if he's just lost. You're about to say something about it when he holds his hand up for silence and directs you to crawl under a huge mushroom. On the other side, you have a view down to one of the other perfectly round pools. Taking out most of it is an enormous Zeno, its legs deep underwater. It's a balneo, Dice tells you. They live in the swamps. You don't usually see them there. This one seems totally at home. It dips its long neck and even longer mouth into the pond, sucking up water from the bottom and spewing it out of a spout at the back of its head. Oh, hey. You'll see that? No, I thought something just hopped on by. Little axolotls. We have a character who's a cross between an axolotl and a spotted salamander. Ooh, that sounds pretty. Alien elephant, for real, for real. Basically. The spray of beautiful turquoise water sprinkles in the sun. Sparkles in the sun. Tiny, colorful, bird-like critters dart around it, catching the tiny fish that comes spraying out. Oh, that's fucked up. We don't want to kill it while it's distracted. What's it doing? I think it's eating the mud, Dice says, or something really, really tiny in it. You watch for a while. It sure eats a lot, he adds. Aw, thank you for the head pats. Ooh, a yellow event. You hear Dice shouting from nearby to, "Come quick and look at this!" You meet up with Dice on a curiously clean part of the path. There's no twigs, pebbles, or bits of grass, or the ubiquitous Dorbsmouth scales that litter the area. It almost looks like it's been swept clean. And there, in the middle of a perfect circle 3 meters wide, is what you can only describe as a shrine. A hollow, waist-height structure made from twigs and packed spark snow forms the centerpiece. Around it are deliberately spaced piles of colorful fruit, flowers, and glittering stones, like an offering. Ooh. Well, I don't want to pray, because, you know, we don't know what would be the respectful way to honor whatever this shrine is. I don't want to investigate it, because I could muss it up. Did you make this? Dice looks at you as if you started speaking in tongues. No, he says angrily. I know you think I'm weird, but not this weird. Let's stake it out and wait. Ooh. Oh, ooh, we got socks. All right, so we can do this one. We can get 9 out of this. That's a pretty low round. Oh, we are going to be making up for that. 7, 6, 5, 4, baby. Oh, the -1 is worth the extra long straight. Pow, right in the kisser, chat. Knocking it out of the park. That's what we call a GG no re-win. All right, we're gonna get super goal, but we need to get it exactly. We need 12. Easy. Although it pains me not to get maximum score just so I can get exact scores. But the min-maxer in me requires it. Becky the bestest? Aw. Thank you. You hang out for hours, but don't discover anything. Except for how boring an idea this was. Dice takes a nap. You're almost falling asleep when something shuffles into the clearing. It's a bush bub. It crawls slowly along down the path. It stops to pick up a pop flower. Stops to pick up a stone. When it arrives at the shrine, it carefully places the flower in a pile of flowers. in the stone, in the pile of stones. Then it picks up the stone and repositions it just so. You wonder if this creature is somehow religious, or is it trying to attract a mate with this little show of decor? There's so much you don't know about the animals that live here. Interesting. All right, we'll pick up stick, and then we're going home. Go home. All right, we have exploration maxed. We're at 80 out of 100. Let's hang out with Nem and just do some lookout duty. Usually assigned to the east wall, and Nem to the west. But as you do your rounds, the two of you overlap above the gates, and are allowed to take a short break together. Sometimes you don't even say anything. It's just nice to sit together, up there above the world. Ooh. Alright, music. Alright. I don't know if we can go any higher. Nope. Love that acoustic. Just the slow strum. All right, he wants medicinal roots. And then let's do some sword fighting. I'll get you a stick. Thanks. I wish it gave me a list of things I had already tried to give to characters, because my brain is potato and I didn't think of keeping track. Crystal. I feel like I've already given her a crystal cluster, but I'm gonna try just in case. Nope. And I figured, like, of the items I've been able to pick up, crystal cluster would have been the one for her. So I feel like she would have been down with examining the structure or something. Well, let's relax in the park because we can maybe hang out with Hop Skijump. Nope, I guess we're hanging out with Mum. Your mom is tending to her garden as you relax nearby. You're both happy to leave each other alone, but you can hear her muttering to herself as she pulls weeds. Every day, she grumbles. You think I was never here at all when some of these weeds grow. I thought that bringing only nice plants, I mean, we wouldn't have to weed as much, but these vertumnant plants, they're unstoppable. She pulls hard on one weed, which turns out to be a huge creeping vine that yanks out a few flowers. I just want one place on this planet that's ours. Let's ask more about Earth. It was like this place, your mom says, but a lot worse. She sits back on her heels and wipes her face. Hot summers, cold winters, storms, wildfires, smog, radiation. Weeding was the least of our problems, honestly. Why I wanted this place. I think that reminds us of the Earth that was. Her mom dumps a huge armful of weeds into a wheelbarrow. These go all the way to the edge of the colony, she says wearily. Whatever plant these roots belong to, they're invading my garden. She turns toward the walls and yells, "You stupid pink bastards! Stay out there where you belong!" I mean... Stress cry. I do... It's nice to have a good stress cry. But we do have a lot of yellow chews. So let's go ahead and drop one. Thing is, though, like, the whole point of this is you need to adapt to the planet we came to, not cling to the Earth that we know in a nostalgic state. Because like a lot of this reminds me, so spoilers for a very old book series. So Dragon Riders of Pern, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you're not aware. It is actually, because they later wrote like a prequel series of books of how the people got there. And the reason people arrived at Pern, at the planet, is they wanted to leave Earth and start like anew. Similar to this, like there was, you know, a whole lot of issues going on, you know, all the corporations and stuff like that, the pollution. They wanted to start fresh without all of the debt and burdens of stuff that historically has gone on Earth, like a clean slate. But, you know, they still have technology, so it's a bit of a jump start, you know, but starting fresh in a lot of ways. But when they went to Pern, while they had high tech, a lot of it was designed around that they would slowly phase out their agriculture and their technology for local resources. You know, they wouldn't have their holograms and computer programs forever. You know, they were only made to last and be maintained and repaired for, you know, some years, but eventually, you know, they don't have high-end clean room manufacturing. They couldn't replace microchips and such. And that's not the intent. And kind of, you know, I know our parents, it's important to be able to grow eatable food for us on this alien planet, but clinging only to Earth stuff rather than embracing the edible, Xenos flora is, I think, a not best practices way of going about this. You wake up on a warm sunny day and you threw off the covers from your bed. Plus 15 stress. That's what it looks like. No! I lost all my stress. We're not stressed. We're totally vibing. We are chill axed maxin'. I'll sleep at your desk. You're supposed to. Aw, thank you, Tapes. But if you're EB, do not let me keep you here. Get you into the nice comfy bed where you can do the horizontal coma. And then wake up tomorrow, fresh, rested. We've kind of done all of the exploration. I don't know if it's going to give us options for the next place. Nope. Let's do a bit of working at the xenobotany, you know? Take a bath with Superior Shot. I don't know. I've never had a bathtub that was comfortable. They've always been tiny and cramped, so I've kind of always had to stick with showers. You're really in the groove, munching on Dayglow roasted pixie beans and feeling just good? Like everything is going right for once. You catch yourself giggling for no reason. For fun, you decide to put a pixie bean through the analyzer. Sure, your dad already studied them, but there's gotta be stuff you still don't know about them. Like, you only just discovered today how incandescently delicious they are roasted. Maybe you can figure out why they glow. Then you can make everything glow. Hell yeah. Instead of glow sticks, glow bean sticks. The analyzer spits out a bunch of info, and congruence helps you interpret it. She says, as if she really needs to ponder anything. These readings are different than the initial ones, suggesting possible amplification with certain hormones for higher bioreactivity in situ. In regular words, congruence, please. Pardon me, Solano. I mean, they might mess with human brain functions under certain conditions. We should perform the analysis again. Also, I'm just noticing that the congruence's little monitor has stickers on it. We see a shark. We have what I can only assume is a sneck. We have like a burb. We have a little kibti. Amazing. A Benoy. Every time I look at your stream, you have a plus X bomb. I mean, it's a resource to manage. Keeps you from just doing the same activity over and over and over to max out certain stats. This sounds important. You run more samples of roasted pixie beans through the analyzer, but you only get more frustrated. Are you certain these are clean samples? Congruence asks. I am detecting anomalies in the readings. Excuse me for asking, but have you washed your hands? Ew, Congruence, of course I have. You don't know what to do. You try everything, even scrubbing the beans down clean with acid. Congruence reverts to her most robotic, focused entirely on figuring out this puzzle. When her normally chipper voice goes monotone and cold, it makes you feel so lost. Never gonna get this right. You start to feel tears prickling your eyes. Run the experiment correctly. You wipe your eyes and try to focus. Once the samples are finally scanned, you hope Congruence runs simulations to see what effect the pixie beans might have on different types of brain chemistry. Do you have permission to do this, Solana? It requires significant power, she asks. You wave your hands at her. Of course, sure, whatever. You giggle. No one's here to stop you, right? Teehee. Processing all that simulation data makes the greenhouse lights flicker. You might get in trouble for that later, but what do you care? You're doing science! Congruence chews on the results for, well, less time than it would have taken you, but still an appreciable amount of time for her as a supercomputer. She says finally. Solana, have you been feeling not yourself lately? As if your thoughts and your reactions are more dramatic, even more so than usual. Well, now that you think about it. Obviously, we test for toxicity before we clear native plants for consumption. Congruence continues, but there are limitations. For example, accounting for the hormonal fluctuations of people undergoing puberty. Congruence explains that there seems to be a chemical in the pixie beans that hyperbonds to estrogen and testosterone, and that combination of molecules activates receptors in your brain way more than just the hormones alone. Chemical will build up for weeks first, then it's going to hit a flashpoint, and you look at the beans you've munching on all afternoon, all week. Uh-oh. Interesting. So all of the kids are going to have an particularly acute expressions of testosterone and estrogen. We are almost to the night event, chat. Oh, something's gonna happen. Oh, I'm nervous. You call your dad over and he takes a look over your findings. There's no way, he mutters as he scrolls his hollow palm. Then he stops. Well, I'll be Jiminied. How are you feeling, Solana? You look over from where you've been balancing a sample beaker on your forehead. The beaker slides off and you bounce it off your knee a few times before catching it. Then you burst out laughing for no reason at all. Your dad blinks at you. Well, that answers my question. You gotta stop eating those beans. Right now. Your dad looks distraught. Lulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair, rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but shit. She's gonna be pissed we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. Must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Was our hormone status because of the beans? Fuck! I didn't use it to max out more rebellion! No! Imagine people on the transition patches or pills. Well, we do know that they do have gene modification technology because Tangerine is a twin of Cal, actually. But they identified as a female, and part of their gene therapy or gene modification was getting their biological and physical presentation aligned with their identity, rather than what they were born as. You got this. Very few players ever see this event because the conditions are quite narrow. Wow, nice to get a bit of streamer luck with the role playing, but I mean, that's why we've been working the bio lab. You know, we got to keep checking in. Mid-wet biology. Well, I think we are, as a hormonal teenager, I think the wet is a bit more than mid. So I can do this. Mid-moist. We got a moist max. Man, that set neighbors to 2 is really a bugger. Because if I do this, you know, we get 21. $22, $24, $25. I think that's as much as we can get. I could have gotten 26. Damn. Going through that process means that your brain already has to keep up with the changes. Put these beans on top of. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, puberty is still a process, and you know, biology is such a messy science. You know, we already have enough problems with naturally occurring hormonal imbalances and things changing. You know, you add in extra stressors, extra things on top of that, especially because of it being testosterone and estrogen heightening their effects. Like that is that could be very stressful and unpleasant. All right, chat. All right, one more month until the darkness. So I kinda, we haven't gone and explored the normal outside in a bit. I don't think if I remember correctly, I think the resources will have respawned, but I don't think any of the events will respawn. Let's give it a gander to maybe restock our stuff. Let's see if we can give people stuff though. I can't give her anything. Can I give Tangerine? Let's give her a flower. She likes yellow flowers. It seems you've remembered my birthday. How thoughtful of you. Tang says, accepting the flower with a dubious look. I'll set this flower aside to analyze later. I am interested in the properties of all Vertumnum flora. Ayo? Ayo? I see. So, So I don't want to flirt with Tangerine, because I already, you know, we're friends. I got a certain thing in mind for my character. But we're not gonna flirt with her. We are just a good friend. Got her pointy flower. If you hover over, you can see what is respawned. Hover where? Can I not? Where's the sneak out? The expeditions menu. Over the expeditions. All of it. Oh, I see what you mean now. I'm a potato. I don't know why. Like, I hover over these to see the stats that they give, and then for some reason, I just completely did not look at the top part. Dreki, you should probably do that thing in the narrative game where you read. Oh, thank you. Not really really arrow ace. It's more like I have a specific idea of who I want to like. So the thing is like I'm kind of working within a framework because I don't want to accidentally go down a romance path with someone that I don't want to romance. And I don't know if the game will have me do like casual flirting, you know, in the sense of, you know, like how you're talking. I feel like if I do a flirt, the game will interpret that as this is you trying to go down a path of romancing this character. And so that's why I want to avoid doing that with the character I don't intend to try and romance. Okay, gorgeous. Aw, I'm sure you say that to all the worms. So we still need to find out. So we don't know what Mars likes. We know what Cal likes. He likes cake. We don't know what Anemone likes. What are the collectibles that I may not have given Anemone? Probably haven't given her crystals or bobber fruit. And I feel like it's a safe assumption that what one person loves, another person doesn't. Gotta get some Mars bars. Mars dropping them bars. Oh, I think of like a head pats. Also, let's see if there's anything in the supply depot. Nothing too big. I don't know if my kudos will ever be like if there's gonna be something big. But our kudos do stack to like 999, so I just kind of want to keep getting them. Hydrate, I will endeavor to do so. The heck is a flirt? You know what? Let me know when you figure it out, because certainly things go over my head. Which makes sense, because I have become a video game character, and those are known for their two-dimensionality a lot of the time. You know, I gotta say, things that are easy to jump over, 2D objects, very easy. You know, as a matter of fact, it's almost like you're constantly going over them as a 3D existence. Please recycle all pixie beans. Do not eat! Damn, our food is still negative 100%. Yikes. We do not have much security either. All right. Well, we're almost to night. And considering the events, I think we're going to do security training. You know, we want to make sure we're practiced and fresh for whatever happens during the glow month. Tangent is deep in conversation with one of the other scientists. Seems to be consoling her, though Tangent's face betrays no emotion, as he claps her on the shoulder and reassures her that she's doing really well for someone so young, and that everyone's compromised some of their samples when they were first learning. He leaves, and Tangent sighs as she goes to put her head in her hands, stopping short when she realizes she's still wearing gloves. She peels them off and digs her fingers into her eyes. What's up, Tang? Tang grimaces. Just great. Well, I compromised an experiment I was working on because the vent was still open when I was spraying the workstation down with sanitizer. She sniffs. It's so gross here, she says. I probably did that fungus a favor. Tangent takes a bottle of sanitizer from under her workbench and cleans while she speaks. There are pollen spores everywhere, she whines. And he comes over here and tells me it'll be okay, Tang, like it's his job to console and patronize me. But it is okay to make mistakes. Tangent shoves the sanitizer back under her workbench. Don't you understand? She says, frustration creeping into her voice. If we never feel the pain of failure, if there's no cost to it, why would we ever improve? I need to own my own mistakes. What I don't need, she continues icily, is someone to pat me on the head and tell me it's okay and the adults will make it all better. I messed up, she says. Just let me fix it. Make a big deal about it like I'm a child with a boo-boo. All right, fair enough. Don't want to be babied. That's understandable. All right. So lookout duty or defense train. So defense training, because we want the wombat combat. Ooh, what do we want to work on? Vert space helmet training. So if I remember correctly, this is that like dance fighting martial arts. Capoeira. You put 3 vowels together and I'm not going to be able to say it. I want that now that I'm an adult. I want to be held and told things will be fine. Yeah. Mood. Nem's been studying videos of other martial arts and wants to learn some of the sweet dance moves to show off in class. She needs a partner and you jump at the chance. Rhett watches you both, skeptical look on his face. What does this have to do with self-defense? He says. Point of all this isn't have fun. Learn how to not die. Whatever. You're too busy learning how to do a sick hand spin to pay attention. He rolls his eyes and stalks away, muttering about how you're wasting your time. You feel more in control of your body, though, which is undoubtedly going to help you in an actual fight. You said it right, but gave up on the last syllable. Well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I see. I cannot do a 7, 6, 5. That can become a 5. This here. This here. Oh! Super goal on the dot. We take those. We take those. We get that W. Take that win, baby. Take it all the way to the bank. Get all that combat experience. All right, chat. Oh, it's been slow going, it feels like. We've made it to the end of the year. Can we sneak out during glow season? I don't think we can. Interesting. I probably should have done explore outside so I can get all the resources and do some more events, and then during glow season do the combat training. So we'll do lookout duty, you know. Staring out into the wilderness in glow is foolish. Everything out there is a black silhouette moving on a black field, barely rimmed with eerie fungal light. Just as the mushrooms and the blet grass swaying in the breeze look like an animal moving in the shadows. As stressed as you are about preparing for the next big attack, the grim darkness just makes everything worse. Interesting. +1 if this has the highest value. It definitely does not. All right, we can get the goal. Hey, Dreki, is butt legs? No. Butt is not legs. I am muscle tube. As you know, snakes have spurs because of their vestigial legs. You know, sort of like how various critters have certain bits of limbs sometimes floating around, but a ground dragon did not have limbs to begin with. So our evolutionary tree is majestic and perfect, cylindrical within and without. The Drakian's neck. So does that mean I wear a tie, you know, just below my jaw? Or do I wear a tie just below the poop chute? But a Mel's butt in his legs. Can we make this better? Not without spending resources, but shouldn't I spend resources? Because I could make a straight over here by doing... A straight will give me more, it would give me 3 points instead of this 2 of a kind. If I do this, 6, 5, 4. Right, left to right, Dreki, left to right. Oh, it's locked there. Shit. Hey, super goal. Haha, nice -2, nerd. Hell yeah. Ooh, +2 from the super goal. Ayy. Ooh, it looks like we got the other perception perk. Collectibles respawn faster and more slots are filled. Nice, nice. Not the wormhole. If we're talking anatomical wise, I'd say below the chin. Oh, okay. It'd have to be above your rib cage, and I know you have a... Yeah. But how many ribs? Look, there are so many ribs. A snake is like... If you had a percentage of body of ribs for a serpent, I would say like 90% of the bones is rib bone. 90% by median. Or is it mode? You know what? I don't know my mathematical terms. We're going to continue narration. Another year, another glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack this year, so the colony is on high alert. You're on duty when the attack starts. You're there alone when you see a mist or something approaching from the distance along the path that leads to the gates. You realize you're looking at what must be hundreds of Hop-Eyes coming at you. So densely packed together, they form a hopping, writhing blanket over the ground. It oozes towards you like a slow oil spill. Good thing you were here. There sure are a lot of them this year. As the Hop-Eye batter against the gates, you hear the wood starting to give, bending and creaking under the onslaught. You wonder if the security officers need help. Does breaking a rib hurt if you have so many? There's some neck bones and snakes that are just as hard to distinguish. Mode is the average through calculation. Median is the middle of measured values. Yeah, if I remember correctly with mode, it's like you start taking things off the beginning and end until you end up at a middle. And then median is, yeah. Do we watch or do we help defend the gates? Maybe we can help defend the gates. You scramble down from the walls and are immediately faced with a seething wall of Hop-Eyes. You kind of thought there would only be a handful of these usually peaceful creatures in previous years, but there's swarms of them now. Not just Hop-Eyes. Once your eyes adjust to the chaos, you can see large creatures that look like walking bushes. These wide centipede-looking things with long spider legs. And at least one giant many-eyed thing that's hovering clear off the ground, defying gravity. Wait, we know what all of these are. They all seem to be incited into a frenzy, attacking everything in sight and trying to get through the walls. It's dark and chaotic. Calm sees you through the fray. Solana, he shouts, get to safety. Suddenly not sure this is a good idea. When you look up and see Nem shouting encouragement from up on the wall. We do not have combat 30 or greater. Fight bravely. Making up with guts for what you lack in sense or skill, you charge in without a plan or a real weapon. Cool. You're immediately rammed in the side by what looks like a living pile of rocks, and you go down. You see sky, then dirt, then sky again as you're tossed through the air before you land in a heap at the base of the wall. Through the ringing in your ears, you can hear Nem screaming for Calm to help. You stumble to your feet. Body vibrating with adrenaline. You can feel blood trickling over your face, and it hurts like someone's stabbing you in the chest when you breathe. Calm runs over and sends bolts of energy coursing from his stun gloves to the creature. But being mostly comprised of rock, it seems unfazed. It does, however, swing its head to look at him, giving you a chance to flee. Impossible. Yeah, we are not taking that. We're gonna run away. Calm's right. This is no place for a kid. You take the chance to flee where Nem is rushing to take you to medbay. You'll definitely need some time to recover from your injuries. But you're able to return home later that night. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. I'm telling you, it wasn't a fluke, your mom says. They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. The field, the lights. Okay, your dad replies, taking her hand across the tabletop. We have to tell the people what we saw in geoponics. They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. Hey, Rutabaga. Then he sees that you're limping, still a little loopy from the medbed. Solana, what happened? Are you hurt? Tis but a flesh wound. Yeah, my flesh is very wounded. That is correct, Tapes. Oh yeah, I totally got messed up. It was gnarly. This big boulder creature just like bouldered all over me. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it shouted, "It's bouldering time," and then just bouldered me right across the ground. But what happened to the fields? Your mom stands up. Don't worry about that, she snaps. Get to bed, it's late. And we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rest. All right. Friendship with dice, going good. Anemone, good. Tangent, good. Cow. Ooh. It looks like everyone's character portrait's updated. Ooh, everyone looks different. Ooh, Tangerine looking slick. Seems like she does not want to deal with any hair at all. Mars? Hey, Mars. Ooh, man, Mars has still got the style. I just wish she wasn't so anti-nature. We get Cal. I feel like Cal kind of looks the least changed of all the characters, but he's still a cool bean. He's still a good bean. We like Cal here. I give him steak. I don't know what to do with it, but sure, thanks. Dice. Yep. You know what? Yep. I feel like Dice is kind of looking exactly like how I thought he'd look. You know, we've got sort of the Hot Topic sort of like striped hoodie thing going on. You catch Dice on a ridge overlooking the wilderness, bobbing his head to something playing through his hear speak. He doesn't notice you walk up. He jumps when you tap him on the shoulder and scrambles to turn off his holopalm. Don't sneak up on me like that, he grumbles, then flops backward on the grass to look up at you. Man, it's just getting to the good part of the song. What are you listening to? Dice looks away. Just some old music on Earth. Probably wouldn't like it. We get some Linkin Park, you know, a little bit of Meteora. A little bit of American Idiot, perhaps? You sit down beside Dice and extend your hand to link hollow palms. Dice stares at you for a few seconds before pressing his palm to yours, and music floods your brain through the hear speak. What is that? Wait. That's a new emote. I haven't seen that. Give me the music back. Certainly not what I expected, but you know, it's got a nice. It's just nice and chill. No, don't put Monty in the spin cycle. No. The child you were. That is. Ah. Damn. Oh, wow. Yeah. Some good music, Dice. Some good music. Dice cracks a small smile, relieved. Good, he says. It's my favorite right now. I always listen to the same album on repeat. It's comfort music. I really like her voice. He stares into his lap. Sometimes I feel like the lyrics are about me, he admits. They're just so deep. Like my soul really gets this kind of music. Aw, thank you for the head pats and the hydrate. But don't tell anyone, okay? Makes me feel better thinking that someone knows my pain, even if it's just a dead woman on Earth. Sounds deep, man. Dice nods and closes his eyes. Yeah, he replies. I have a lot of time to think, unlike anyone else here. Oh yeah! We get that guitar breakdown now! That's a pretty sweet way to rotate into like the romance option for Dice. But we're just friends. We're just gonna enjoy the time with him. You and Dice lie together in the grass and listen to music, trading different songs back and forth until dark. And the bell rings to close the gates for the night. Also, nice fistful of Slugcats tapes. we done got skugged, boy. Boy! Hey, an enemy. Ah! Oh, mostly Slugcats and then a Drekkie Spear. I guess we give her a Bobber Fruit. I don't know if I've given her that before. All right, so not Bobber Fruit, not Sticks. I mean, we can try a flower. I feel like a flower's not gonna work. Let's rest in the lounge because we need to heal from our injury. That's right. I think I actually suggested Lycus to do a Monty Squish. That's adorable. You must flee. Well, have a wonderful rest of your evening or rejuvenating eat, Arizil. And thanks for stopping on by. Monty Squish. Tricky Squish. All the squish. You spend several hours a day obsessively checking the HoloNet for updates. So few people in the colony, social media can be very dead. Feels like you're talking to yourself sometimes. Try to start a few conversations, but most people are busy at work or school. Ooh. Yeah, we are going to forget Pink Candy for reasons.